Earlier today, I received a text message from one of my favorite people ever, and Kevin Hoffman, the head coach at Mart, that he had decided he was going to retire from football, coaching football, 31 years in the business, former quarterback for a hell of a team at Robinson High School, Lamar University, and then won 3 straight state titles at Mart. Think about this, the history of Mart High School. They've won a bunch of state titles. No one had ever won back-to-back there. He won 3 times. And then last year, in a very, very crushing loss to Windthorst, almost won 4 straight after just kind of a weird circumstance at the end of the game. Kevin Hoffman joins us on Sikkim 365 Radio. Paul, Catalina, Craig Smoak, and David Smoak. Okay, it's been a few hours. You okay?
I'm doing good. How are you guys doing?
Kevin, we're doing great. We're happy for you because we know what you're trying to do is to go find things, as you told me earlier today, that perhaps your schedule has not allowed you to do. Do you have an idea of what some of that might be?
Well, you know, me and my wife have had a wonderful coaching career. Both of us coached for a long time. She's been out of it for a few years now, and she's retired, and she's off and, traveling and enjoying her time, and she's able to go do those things. And it's something that we've talked about doing, that, we want to go and experience other things, outside the coaching profession. We want to go travel and, see all the things that are out there. We've done a little bit of it over the past, few years. We've done it a little bit here and there, but, there's always a schedule that we had to come back to. It's just one of those things that we both enjoy doing. We both want to do. So before, who knows how much, quality time that either one of us has left. And, we want to experience those things before, we're too old to either get around or remember those things. And so we'll see. I'm not going to say that, I'll never coach again. But I'm gonna take a step back, take a breath, and get away from it for a little while.
Is there somewhere in particular that you want to go? We've done the things that we have done. We really enjoyed. So we like to go to the mountains. We like to go to the ocean. We've been to the West Coast and driven. Rented a convertible and driven the Pacific Coast Highway from San Francisco down to LA. We've been to, we've flown into Miami and rented a vehicle and drove down the Florida Keys, which was a lot of fun. We've been to the Smoky Mountains, which was really beautiful. So we've done a little bit here and there. But we want to see more. We have a friend that owns a place in Montana that he's invited us to. We've been to Colorado, and I just want to go experience and see things that that are out there in this great place that we live in, the United States. And I just know that my mom and dad, my mom liked to travel. My dad didn't like it so much, so they didn't do a lot. But I saw them, in their final years of their lives, and I don't want to be those kinds of people that retire and don't do anything, just sit around the house. And so that's the plan now. And I don't know, I might not enjoy it as much as I think. So that door is always open to coach again. Coach, it's been 1 month exactly since your last game there at Mart, the loss to Falls City, which I know was a tough one for you in the state semis. But did you have a clue then that might be your last game at Mart? Was that something that at least you were able to kind of have when it ended, that closure of like you were kind of prepared for it, or was this all kind of unexpected?
Well, I've been talking to my brother and my sister and my my wife. Those are the three people that I care the most about, and we've discussed it over. It's been a couple of years. When I started coaching at 25 years old, I always had a plan and a goal for each year and each couple of years and each 5-year period. These are the things that I wanted to do and I wanted to accomplish. I've been able to do those things in my career, and I thought that if I made it 30 years in this profession, that that would be a great career, and I would be 55 years old, and I would still be young enough to go experience things and go see other things and do other things outside of the coaching profession, which has again been really great to me. So 31 years. I thought about it last year, and I thought maybe if we won 4 in a row, that I could just kind of ride off into the sunset at the highest, at the highest of the game. And y'all mentioned that was probably one of the worst losses that I've ever been a part of. And again, I thought about it last year, and then me and my wife sat down and talked about it. And thought that let's not go out that way. Let's give it another shot. Let's make a few changes, and we did that. But it got to the point where, and I told my coaching staff, the winning 3 straight state championships was great, awesome accomplishment. The last 2 years, we were 28-2, and I told my coaching staff that it didn't. When you lose the way that we lost, it didn't feel like we were 28-2 in 2 years and had 2 great seasons. It felt like that over 2 years we were like 14-10. So the wins, they were half as much fun, over the past couple of years, and then the losses, it was 5 times as worse, crushing, and I took it really hard, and so that played into it also, that the wins they weren't as much fun, and then the losses were horrible, and they were worse than okay, we lost the game, let's pick up the pieces and let's move on. It was really difficult when we did lose, although we didn't lose very much, but they were difficult. And so that kind of played into it. And, I thought about it before the Christmas break, and then me and my wife discussed it over Christmas break, and I went back and forth. Am I making the right decision? Well, I'll never know if I'm making the right decision if I don't pull the trigger on this and see what else there is out there. And I told the coaches and the administration and the players today that if I stayed in coaching, Mart High School is the place I want to do it. That's where I've enjoyed the most success and had the most fun. And obviously winning does that, but when the losing hurts as much as it does over the wins, and you don't enjoy the wins, it's time to take a step back, take a breath, and reevaluate.
Out of all the championships that Mart has won, and they've had some great teams that have tried to follow it up, you were the first one to win back-to-back, and on top of that, you won 3 in a row, and as you just a nostril hair away from winning 4 consecutive state titles. But the animal that is there, the standard that is there, you knew that as an assistant when you were under Rusty Nail, and you knew that as a head coach. Can you try to explain it now that you've been through it, the pressure to
win? It's hard to explain. You have to be a part of it. You have to live it. The expectations of the football program at Mart High School they're astronomical. You got to win, and if you don't play for state championships year in and year out, the season is considered a failure. if you win a game by 31 points, a game that we won early this year, we won 31-0, with having to bring in a quarterback that hadn't played very much, because we lost our best player the week before, and we traveled a couple of hours and played a game and won 31-0, and then you thought the sky was falling. What's wrong, and how come you only won 31-0? And then so I mean, you beat someone 31-0, that's a pretty good win. But the expectations are greater than that, and it's difficult to explain unless you're a part of it. I knew that going when Rusty hired me, back in 2009, and we had some great runs there with him. But that's the expectations. That's what you go in there knowing. You better fulfill those expectations to the highest that you can. And if you go 14-1 or 15-1, or you go 13-3, it doesn't matter unless you win the last game.
Here's on the chat room, and Kevin Hoffman, head coach at Mart, he's announced his retirement, 31 years in the business, the last, 7 at Mart as the head coach. Coach Hoffman has the right mindset. No one knows how much sand is left in the hourglass, so take time to smell the roses. Good for you, Coach. So my question to you is also, what has your inner closest circle knew? Although I think sometimes even today it was still a surprise for a lot of people. What has it been like, the reaction, once people started hearing that you had retired?
Well, my coaching staff, who's done wonders, and they will continue to do those things. I had kind of told them a little bit before we left for Christmas break that I was contemplating doing this. And then, after, I met with a couple of coaches there individually that had been there for a while, and so kind of let them know what was going on, because, I don't want anything to happen to those guys. And, that's my biggest concern. But I think they're all going to be okay. But their reaction today when I told them was, they didn't, even though I had warned them, I didn't think that, that they thought that I was actually going to do it. But between them, it was good. We had a good talk this morning with the coaching staff and the kids. And, just the first two people were my brother and my sister that I called early this morning on my way to work, told them what I was going to do. And then, obviously my wife, and, but the coaching community, I've gotten messages from, coaches that I've coached against, coaches that I coach with, the players that I've coached over the years that have all, congratulations on a great career, and looking forward to retirement and having a happy retirement, and so it's been great. And like I said, the coaching community is in this state of Texas is head and shoulders above any other state, and the guys that I have built relationships with over these years has been wonderful, and they most of them have reached out to me, and it's been nothing but special.
You will be a part of the Texas High School Football Hall of Fame. It won't take long. I think you are still wanting one more game of eligibility to see if you can score against Dangerfield. Yeah.
Is there any way that we can take the team that I had and we can go back to 1983, but then the guys from Dangerfield need to be the guys like right now.
Yeah.
And I think, I don't know if we can beat them, but I'm going to be willing to bet that we can score.
You can get a couple touchdowns on them. There's some guys with some knee replacements on that.
Gave them the hardest game of anybody other than the two teams that were 4A schools at the time. Kevin, you have been nothing but class from day one. Your story of you, your family, your mom and your father and your wife and also everyone else involved, it's incredible. Nobody thinks of, and you never heard anything negative ever said about Kevin Hoffman, and that's the best way to be able to describe your legacy. Thank you so much. You've meant a lot to Mart. You've meant a lot to high school football, and the game is not as good with you not in it, but we wish you the very best in having a chance, as you said, to go find out what else is out there.
I appreciate it, guys, and you guys have always been great to me. Always treated me with respect, and you guys deserve the same, and y'all do, and the things y'all do for not just Baylor and the Central Texas, but the state of Texas and high school football, man. Nobody's better than you guys, and I appreciate it.
Thank you. Kevin Hoffman is retired. Kevin Hoffman, as class as you get.
Thanks, Coach.
91-11. Chance now to go smell the roses, go see what's out there that otherwise he didn't know existed or knew it might exist but never had the time because of the schedule.